Let's bring in Tony Khalife.
Good morning, Javi.
Hey, good morning. You're coming in loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Hey, thanks for coming in.
I did drive my boat down. I mean, luckily on the ranch we have people that get out to work early, and they're so well equipped with chainsaws and other goodies to open the road. You know. Yeah, no, it was definitely a storm. It's still a storm.
Yeah. My hydro kicked in just in one day. Usually we're waiting for a couple of months. But wow, the hydropower.
All right.
Amazing. And then just overnight it charges the batteries. You know, you power down and it's amazing.
Beautiful.
This is the earliest I've experienced hydropower. We're not even in December. That's amazing.
I know.
Because the gas, the propane, that stuff, that adds up.
Yeah. Winter can be costly up here.
Yeah.
For sure.
That transition time between summer, fall, and winter, transitioning from solar power to the hydropower, that's where a lot of, at least my money, gets spent on gas and propane for generators. And then repairing if they happen to go out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, with this summer, we did not fire the Jenny once.
Yeah. Nice.
Now you just got to figure out how to get it going while the rain is pushing in all directions. We did put a little umbrella in front of the door.
Oh, wow.
On top of the Jenny just to keep the Jenny dry.
Right.
Because you can't close the door. I mean, you can't shut it because then the CO2 will kick in, the sensor, and then it will shut the Jenny off. Oh. But as you know, our beloved Nariji, she's a superstar.
She's on it.
She's on it.
Wow. You know, living off grid, it's a journey. I mean, off grid. I mean, we're going back to nature, sort of de-industrializing oneself. No?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's about chop wood and carry water.
That's
the original purpose. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, living off grid sounds like a diet. You know, you just
yeah.
There's not much you can do. You just got to put up with what you got in front of you, and you got to prep. If you don't prep, you're up against some real issues.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this idea of kind of living with the seasons, and then living with the sun and the sun's cycle. And I'm accustomed to using light at night, and with the flip of a switch. And I just think to myself, if it's getting dark so late, why don't I just power down and use that time to be in the darkness?
Yeah, and your eyes will adjust.
Yeah.
You'll be so much better off in the morning when you wake up because you're not used to all this artificial light.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason for the darkness, the extended darkness, the cycles of the season. There's a reason. And I just think I think of the employment sort of domain, if you will. It doesn't account for this. So it's like even school and work, you're expected to show up and operate. Obviously, like if there's a snowstorm or a rainstorm or something like that, there's excused. You're excused. But there's no, we don't have a sense for what is healthy or what would contribute to health. How could we expect a business owner or a CEO or a corporation to limit the hours of work and say, yeah, we're coming into the winter season where the time is to sort of close down, reflect.
Yeah, there's very little consideration of the season and how nature is evolving. And I think with the practice that you and I do with Qigong and Bagua and all of our Tai Chi, it's really about being tuned into nature and being tuned to the cycles. Just imagine the amount of deepening you do when darkness starts to, when the days get shorter, and you start to deepen more into your practice. Your roots grow deeper. You're grounded more, and you have to bring in that part of you that is comfortable with the darkness. And then as you start to go back to the light, you bring that part of you that's comfortable to evolving and opening up and just spreading your own self outside. But I don't think anybody who's in the race, who's trying to get ahead on the secular level, is concerned with the changing of the seasons. And if anything, they've done everything in their power to just overcome whatever seasonal change there is, to maintain some kind of a progress, or what is deemed to be progress in that context.
Yeah, they're more concerned with the quarters. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Right?
4 quarters make $1. Or so they say.
Yeah. It really takes that intention to focus on, the sustainable, the real, the true.
I don't know why they don't take in account, but I don't know whether it's not taken in account the idea that there is an inner balance as much as there is an outer balance. And it always seems that whatever we have gotten ourselves into seems to tip the scale away from ourselves, as opposed to tip the scale to our favor, where you would spend more time within your own constitution and your own developing personal power and health and processing your own issues, as opposed to dedicating your life and just to survive what's on the outside. There is a real deficiency in the way we understand balance between the secular and the spiritual, and that's a real issue, because it always seems to be the scale tipped not in our favor for some sort.
Yeah, industry really is a big pusher in disconnecting us from nature.
And you can't just walk out into the woods and just set up camp,
Yeah.
and live off grid. They'll come after you.
Right. Yeah.
They'll totally come after you, kick you out, and then you're back in the system.
Yeah.
So it requires real intelligence to be able to sustain yourself in these modalities that we are facing nowadays. And things are getting a lot more tense in the world, and they've been more tense, but they're getting more tenser,
Yeah.
And a lot of us are snapping for no reason. We think for no reason, but there's a lot of reasons for why we're snapping. So,
say more. What have you observed?
Well, I think on the global level, all of the conflicts that's evolving right now, it's getting so much more exaggerated. The bombings of other countries. There's the overall warfare on the global level, and there's the inner battle as well. So when we are watching the news, we are definitely re-envisioning those aspects of war and embattlement within ourselves. So we end up bombing our own selves with just the ideas that we're not getting what we want in life, so we want to get it, and so we go after it in a way that's just more warring as opposed to more. It's a lot easier to go to battle than it is to create peace and be part of your own growth and be part of your own overcoming. And so it makes it a little bit tense in every direction, and as you know, when you are tense within your body, your tendons, they do suffer, because you can't extend yourself in the same way you were able to before while you were loose and supple. And so you pull every muscle there is, and then you are living in pain. There's nothing worse than living in pain, self-inflicted pain. And it's self-inflicted because we believe in what we are being fed in regards to how we go about our daily life, as opposed to listen to our inner being present in our own inner paradigm.
So what's your process in that regard?
Well, and I think music keeps me healthy in that regard because music is a direct is a mirror. You're looking into a mirror continuously, and as they say, the job of the artist is not just to display the grim reality, but to actually offer a window in which what it could be and lead us on to. Oh, we got our guest here. Beautiful. Yay! Greetings, brother. Greetings. Have a seat. I'm glad you made it through this deluge that we're experiencing. Yeah, it is happening.
Hey, did yeah?
It's good to get some rain. It's good to welcome some cleansing of our lands here in Northern California.
Oh,
I feel the rejoice happening
yeah.
for all of us.
Yeah.
After that beautiful harvest season, long, extended fall, warm weather, summer-like temperatures in September. It's really nice. Really nice.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, how's it going, Javier?
Good. Yeah, pull up. Yes. Yeah, I might need to raise that volume a little bit. Let's get a sound check from you.
Sound check.
Check.
Yeah. It sounds a little low, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
A little closer would be good.
We were just talking about the seasons and the darkness and the journey and the external and the internal. And what I'll do, it's 9:15. If you're just tuning in, this is Chi Talks. I'm Javi, and I've got Tony here and a special guest today, Deddy. And we're going to be talking about this new space that you can find in Garberville, where we are raising the vibe. Deddy, what's going on out there?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Javier. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be in the studio. Yeah, we got a new thing happening here in Southern Humboldt in the old Organic Grace building, 906 Redwood Drive. And it's a project called Innerbloom Wellness. And this is a culmination of my own life's work and my passion and what I feel like I should offer, what I want to offer to the world right now. And Innerbloom Wellness is a wellness studio where we practice Qigong, meditation, yoga, breath work. We have a small apothecary, and we're gathering the community for events. We've already had a sound healing last weekend. We have another sound bath healing this Saturday. And we're actually having Tony coming in on Friday to play some music.
Yes, sir.
We're really excited. And so Innerbloom Wellness is a space for the community, for all of us to gather, come together, and find a way to take care and nourish what's going on inside of ourselves.
Oh.
I heard a bit of the show on the way in today, and yeah, what's going on outside the world and outside of us can be very distracting to our inner peace, and we all want to help make a change and help, create something better in the world for ourselves and for our families and for our communities. So everything that's going on outside and around the world, Innerbloom Wellness is a place to come to the inside and nourish and care for ourselves through our meditation, through our breath work, through our yoga, through our qigong, through the music. So I feel so grateful to have, moved into the Organic Grace space, and full support from Talia and Elliot, and lots of respect to them and their beautiful store they had for such a long time. And I moved out here in 2014 and been back and forth a bit, and just feels great to settle back into Southern Humboldt and be offering Innerbloom Wellness.
Beautiful. I think it's an incredible adventure that you're on, and I'm totally excited about having a place dedicated to the inner growth, because I feel like we are in a place that has so much magic and so much uplifting energetics, and due to our recent economic failures, we feel like everybody is in a gloom. So I love that you bring the inner bloom in there, and shifting the energetics, because everybody needs a place to go to in order to regenerate, to rediscover themselves, to find the community that they are capable of connecting with, to raise their own vibration. And it requires I commend you for being a very strong principal in this community and taking this on. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. It's it's not it's a high ask, and it's a big order, and it's also very simple. I've been blessed and grateful to be able to have traveled the world a little bit and have been able to go and explore with teachers of mine. My breathwork teacher, Robin Clements, he's from Vancouver, and I've been able to visit him up north in Canada and also travel to Indonesia and train with him in Costa Rica over the years. And so it just feels really authentic and simple for me to open and bring together Innerbloom Wellness as a space for not only myself to offer what I've gathered as tools and skills for embodiment and evolution, but also to invite others in to the studio as well. And we've had Javier teaching 3 days a week, actually, over at the studio, and it's so great to blend the different modalities that help us nourish what's going on inside and feed our own inner garden through these practices.
Yeah, we need everything nowadays. Everything is going to work. We can't be isolating ourselves anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is it's something. It's something. I don't know. I feel like I'm being called to and a part of something that's snowballing. And I remember being here around, COVID and seeing everything start to close down. Everything started to close down, and I was like, ooh, wow, okay, boom, 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 collapsing, contracting. And that's hard to be in, sit in, and observe and see, and not also and then not internalize too, right? Because the external, as we mentioned, it's going through its own thing, and but then to also be centered, grounded, and rooted in oneself, to not be affected by what's going on out there. That's I would say, is a huge undertaking, part of the practice and then part of the journey, and it's a moment thing, it's a life thing, and maybe I'm trying to like grasp the essence of what we're doing and then what we're talking about, not being disturbed or destabilized by what's going on outside. That's sort of how I'm interpreting it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but I think we do not want to get swept by the external current continuously. For some reason, we've been so suggested to whatever is coming upon us to go with it. But there are things that come upon us we shouldn't go with. We should totally listen to our own inner self and not get so wrapped up in other modalities that are so conflicting, and not get swept by the current, because the current is pretty strong and unusually strong nowadays, and it does flip your boat.
Yeah, I agree. It's a pretty polarized time that we live in, and ultimately, I think what I have learned is that no matter what team we're on or what side we're on, we're really all on the same team here, and it's important to remember the roots that we come from that connect us all, and to remember our own humanity, and to breathe into ourselves, into something deeper that's below our survival in our mind, below our attachment to these certain ideas, and breathing in a little bit deeper and working our way down into our belly, and just feeling ourselves and our humanity, and remembering who we are, and that connection that we have as a human family, truly, in the very simplest form. So finding ways, whether we're at home, sitting at our table, or driving, or if we're even coming into the studio, just finding ways to soften and deepen into ourselves and remember the roots of who we are.
Yeah, I'm. My sense is ancient knowledge is returning. I mean, like there's this push, and there's a re-honoring, because there's a huge decolonization movement, and with that there's an indigenous honoring and a rebirth and a resurfacing. And I sort of feel like, our ancient knowledge that we're connected with and tapped in is along that ride. It's also rebirthing, if you will. And I'm not sure if a lot of people understand or know the root of the current sort of medical system and its oppression of nature's wisdom, ancient knowledge, indigenous, wisdom. So I feel, I sort of, do you guys understand what I'm getting at there? That maybe that needs to be sort of spoken to, called in, and then also even monitored. Because, I mean, so if we think about like martial qigong for a second, like wisdom knowledge is great, and priesthood and having that sage wisdom, that is special. But then for someone for an entity or some force to oppress that in some way, that in and of itself, we could say is like a cycle. But there's also a concept, an interpretation of threat there.
Yeah, the overshadowing of internal practices has been incredibly successful by the media and all kinds of energetics that want their agenda to be forth. And I think the reclaiming and the reorientation towards the ancient wisdom is definitely, I mean, it is ancient and it is wisdom for a reason.
Yeah.
It survived so much.
Right.
And for a reason, again, chop wood, carry water. It's the original life hack.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, you are not capable to survive any weather or any season. And so the practice, the idea of practice, the idea of being present in one's life is definitely being overshadowed by extreme advertising on a lot of levels. Advertising of illness, advertising of
pill pushers.
Yeah,
totally. I mean, pill pushers. And the reason I say that and bring this up too is because like there's a warriorship that we're like stepping into as well, that you have to like sit with. Mm-hmm. Like there's you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially we're all sourcing our news and sourcing our information. We're connecting in a lot of ways through an external form where we're using our hands and we're looking outside of ourselves to computers and cell phones to connect. And that tends to, naturally there's advertisements and just endless distractions all day long to bring us to things outside of our own warriorship. And a warrior can be anyone can be a warrior, in a warrior of the heart, which we all are and can be when we're walking in our best, living in our hearts and staying open and loving our neighbor and our brother. The practices of self-embodiment and self-awareness just help us to maintain and stay open and stay in that place. So in our current time of being outside of ourselves and looking to the phone and sort of pulling our focus outside of ourselves, what a better time than now to put the phone down, put the phone in the case for a few minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes or an hour, and just have some meditation and some self-nourishment, really.
Well, let's talk about this space and what you envision for the space. Like I just had a vision of like people turning off their cell phones and then just like coming in and in community, tuning into the vibe and internalizing. So we have the classes going. We got the sound bath going, which was awesome last Saturday. I'm so happy that Tony's going to be playing tomorrow and sharing his energy with the space too. So what do you envision, Daddy?
Great. Well, I just want to give a quick introduction for myself. I came in a few minutes behind with the weather. Thank you for having me. a nickname and a name I've been given by my teacher. One of my teachers is Dedication, and so a lot of my friends call me Dedication, and I'm really honored to have been given that name. My born name is Justin Michael. And, you know, what really birthed Innerbloom is a deep introspection. And what am I dedicated to? What am I devoted to? And what is my purpose now in life? And, you know, I'm rounding my 36th year and have, just come to this place where I want to be of service, where others have been of service to me. And so the vision with Innerbloom is a space for, first and foremost, our community here to come in and put the phone down and leave the distractions at the door. When you come into the Innerbloom space, if you've seen it or been inside, it's a really, a really meditative and relaxing place. It has a really beautiful energy in there, and would love for everyone to come and check our space out for yourself. And so this energy is just inviting a place of peace, both within the mind and around our physical body. So it's an invitation for our community to come in, and, you know, we open, right now we're starting our classes at 11 a.m. We have a move, breathe, and meditate combination course. We have Qigong 2 days a week at 11 a.m. And the classes go in through the evening starting at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So throughout the day, we have opportunities for individuals to come in and, breathe some fresh air, breathe some new life into whatever you're working on. These practices of conscious connected breath and mindfulness and awareness, it's not about becoming good at a certain practice. It's really about becoming better in our lives. And so finding ways to, bring more energy into ourselves so that we can be better at what it is that we want to do in our life. And so at Innerbloom, we'll also be hosting events with more music. On Sundays, every few weeks, we'll be doing a conscious rhythm dance church where myself and other musicians and DJs will play music for a sort of ecstatic dance type movement experience where there's no talking on the dance floor. It's a safe and conscious space to come move and be on the floor and dance and open up and just have fun. And so Innerbloom is a space for our community to stay activated and to stay engaged and to grow. It's another form of fitness. You know, it's not all Zen meditation in there. It's different forms of meditation. It's different workouts. Sometimes we'll be in a vinyasa yoga class where we're sweating. Sometimes we have yin yoga 2 nights a week, and the yin yoga is the opposite of yang and activation. It's more passive and relaxed and restorative for the body. So we're really excited about that. And in a greater picture, what we're looking towards in the spring, which we all know the power of the redwoods and the Emerald Triangle in this region, from all the way out Shelter Cove back here into the 101 and our whole region here of Northern California. I have a belief that it's a healing place, and there's a lot of energy for people to come here. I remember the first time I saw the redwoods, and I read a book actually called Tall Trees in 2012, a beautiful book about the exploration for the biggest redwoods in Northern California. Maybe someone's read that. And to come here and get to live in this area and, you know, to walk in the redwoods and go down to the river and just let it all, quote unquote, let it all go and just be present, leave the phone in the car. So I feel that this is a desirable place that people, other humans and individuals would benefit greatly from coming here, just for the energy that Southern Humboldt County, Garberville, Redway, this whole area is, all the way out to the Cove. So we, number one, want to serve our community, and number two, we want to create experiences that are attractive to bring people up here to enjoy this community. So Javier and I have been talking about what that looks like and how to roll that out, and I have experience collaborating on hosting retreats with my teachers and other friends in the community. So yeah, really, Innerbloom Wellness is the landing point, is the gravitational point for the invitation for people to come up here, and we're going to base our retreats around arriving at Innerbloom and community events there, and then taking groups out to spaces around the area, having overnight retreats, and then also bringing them out to Shelter Cove. We have a space to gather out there, and basing the retreats around wellness, yoga, breathwork, qigong, meditation, these things, but transforming and stepping into nature to blend the natural with the intention.
That sounds like an incredibly vast
Yes.
adventure and beautiful. I'm totally behind you on that. And I think definitely what you said about this environment and what it offers to people overall about the essence of healing and what the redwoods bring into one's life is just existential at this moment.
Yeah, I thank you, Tony. I feel a lot of us are, including myself, have been searching for what's next, feeling that the chapter that we've been in, we're sort of, for me, it feels like we're turning a page on what has been. And so for me, I've gone through my own struggles of not wanting to turn the page and enjoying the page that I'm on, and looking at the external and seeing how things are transforming, no matter what I want to do about it. And so staying connected to the roots of who I am, all of us, we can stay connected to the roots of who we are and invite new and nourishing activities and practices in our lives. So my hope, and the biggest part of this dream is that we can create some beautiful content and media to showcase Southern Humboldt County and make this a place in sort of a rebirth of what this area is, a place of healing, a place where people can come and find peace and wellness and restoration, so that they and we all can go home just feeling something better for ourselves, because it's up to us to choose that and to do that. And to bring those practices in to secure that for ourselves.
Well, I just want to let folks know it's 9:35. You got it tuned to the mud. This is Chi Talks with Javi, Tony, and we're talking with Dedication, who has just opened up a wellness studio where the old Organic Grace store was in Garberville. And we're talking about turning the page, a new vision, an expansion from the contraction, finding internal stability, center, balance, and allowing that to bloom from within. Yeah. And the warriorship. I want to invite folks to call in if you have any questions about the space, if you have any questions about the classes, if you have any questions about the events, if you'd like to... if you're called to share something, what's your Innerbloom journey going to look like coming from the contraction? It's interesting because we're all sort of sharing the same journey after COVID lockdowns in terms of contracting, closing in, isolating, and now we're sort of introducing ourselves and introducing a new world, if you will. That in which we are the creators, of which we are the creators. There's a great power there. Mm-hmm. But with that power also comes responsibility, awareness, and Oh, so let me give out the number. 707-923-3911. 707-923-3911.
You also are going to have the Chamber of Commerce mixer happening tomorrow.
We have the Chamber of Commerce mixer happening tomorrow. Yeah. Although I did just speak with Yvonne on the phone, and it looks like we're having another big wave of rain in the next 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So there's discussion that we may postpone the Chamber mixer tomorrow. I just want to let everyone know that Yvonne will put out an announcement from the Southern Humboldt Chamber of Commerce here this morning if we do decide to postpone. And that may change some things for us, Tony. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, we have to be mindful and conscious of the weather and the elements as they reveal themselves with such intensity.
Mm. Yeah. And just go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's a good reflection of the practice too, no?
Oh.
Transformation being easy and flexible when things come up. That's, like a tree. We're all rooted here, get our feet on the earth, and when the wind blows, how do we respond? And sometimes if we're maybe feeling good, we can face the wind and take it on the chin, or do we want to protect ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all of it. It's all of it for sure.
We're not in any hurry to go anywhere, and we are just gonna be able to have the capacity to listen to that which is occurring and be able to move with it in the most appropriate manner.
Hey guys, okay, we got 2 callers here. Taylor's calling in, so we'll put on Taylor here for a second, and then we have a caller who's got a comment or a question afterwards. So, Taylor, we got you?
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great.
Hey,
Good
Taylor.
morning.
I just wanted to call in and comment on Innerbloom Wellness. I think it's a really amazing resource for our community to have, especially during these trying times, to have this space open almost every day and allow the community to come together and uplift each other and just focus on healing is a really valuable asset. And like Daddy was saying, I think it could be great for our community to have this energy and have this draw or this appeal to these healing arts. So, yeah, I just wanted to comment on that and say how excited I am about it. And the space is really beautiful. There's great energy there, and everyone there is really loving and kind and seems to be on the same mission of evolution.
Yes.
Thank you, Taylor, and we're so grateful to have you, having been showing up and supporting the project, and also now that you are going to be offering your classes in there. Taylor, we're so excited to have you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be great.
Taylor, you're teaching tonight, yeah?
Yeah, at 6 o'clock, we're going to have yin yoga with sound healing throughout the whole class, and then we'll end it with some really nice, singing bowls and the didgeridoo, and yeah, it should be a great time.
Looking forward to it. And then Saturday morning, 11 a.m., Taylor is teaching a vinyasa flow.
Wow.
Yeah, that class is going to be pretty intense, lots of heat and fire. But, when we're using that, it's really beneficial for us, to carry that throughout the rest of our day and just come together and support each other to be healthy.
Great. Yes, Taylor, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that we met, and you've been bringing your friends by, and they've been having some great experiences, I've noticed as well. So looking forward to all of this, and we'll see you tonight.
Yeah, great. See you later.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello. What a beautiful conversation. It's so gentle. It's so gentle. And that is our true nature. Yes, that's our true nature, is to be gentle and kind and not to be so fearful. And what I want to, another thing I want to say is, I took a disaster preparedness course I've taken several, but all day on last Saturday, and it's very, very interesting. And, I heard, and then I researched, that when you put something over the radio airwaves, which are human invented, it goes beyond the nearest star. I said that to the facilitator, and he said, oh no, radio airwaves will go forever until they bump into something. And so that tells me how important these words over the airwaves are, and I thank you so very much for them.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentle conversation. This is possibly the most rewarding comment for three guys who are sitting in the studio who practice a variety of martial arts and still maintain a deer-like personality. And it's a lot harder to create peace, but I think that's what we are committed to, and we love that about ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's, everything and anything that's going on outside. It's really how we feel inside, breathing into that space. And, thank you, callers, for calling in. That feels really, really great. And, I think maybe you can speak to this, Tony, but the warrior's true essence, it's not about him, acting force upon his opponent or training in a way of anger and aggression all day. It's about refining and sharpening his tool and really leading and walking with the heart open and walking with peace. The true warrior has a peaceful heart, I've learned.
Oh, in Taoist spirituality, they say the superior warrior carries no weapons, and that's that speaks truly to the essence of what all of these practices are already meant to bring into the being. We're not here to create enemies. We're here to create compassion. We are here to create camaraderie and to be able to dance with everything. And so if we're practicing any of these modalities in order to defeat anybody, we're first and foremost, we're defeating ourselves. And we're just walking into an ambush for our own being. And so the superior warrior carries no weapons means the superior warrior does not bring unto themselves any form of conflict, any form of dissonance. It's all about movement. As the yin offers, the yang recedes. As the yang offers, the yin recedes, and so forth. It's a dance. It's never one straight line. It's a circle. It's a never-ending infinity that keeps coming, which gives, that also receives simultaneously. So we like that. We want that. We want to enhance more of that so that we can create the conversation that is worthy of being created, which is how do we survive this? How do we evolve with this, with the greater perspective as opposed to not?
Let's take a caller.
Yes, I love this conversation, and it reminded me of what Bob Dylan once said. He said, the warrior's strength is not to fight. Do you remember that one?
The warrior's strength is not to fight. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Beautiful.
Well, interesting. Are we called to step into some warriorship here? I mean, the conversation has been around healing, raising the vibe.
Well, it requires a lot of warriorhood to raise the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy task for anybody. Again, it's a lot easier to fight because there's a black and white kind of modality happening there. But it's much, much harder. You have to have a lot more color in order to create peace and create harmony. You got to understand tension and how to prepare to resolution and how to be within your own self for resolutions, because not always going to be in your favor. And it shouldn't always be in your favor because there are other favors on the planet, other people, other realities that are also equally important to the reality that we perceive for our own selves. And having that level of compassion and level of harmonious existence is to allow for other to rise while you yourself holding the space.
Yeah, that really resonates, Tony. And, I feel like these practices and what we're offering at Innerbloom and sort of what the three of us all work on our own individually is working on an inner firmness, but that inner firmness needs to stay supple and to stay soft. And so what I've learned in my journey through all of this, and especially through something called men's work, men's embodiment work, which is, in its simplest form, it's men getting together and being honest and being real and having hard conversations about ourselves and being seen in the eyes of our brothers and our friends to help evolve and help grow. So, the man that I want to be, it's not about, fully softening and just like letting it all lay on the floor, but it's about how can I soften and let the mask off, take the mask off and not need to protect myself, but be comfortable and confident in who I am and have a group of friends around me that are working to be the same way and building our softness from a true inner strength. And that, the truest strength isn't about how big our muscles are, but it's how much we can touch our own vulnerability about who we truly are and being honest and being real and having someone to talk to when we're going through a hard time and being able to share when we're going through a good time. Wow. And realize that life is always on a scale, on a spectrum of all of that. And so affirming who we are and building a foundation that is built from softness and through a conviction of knowing what we want and what we're all about.
I think that on the grand stage, on the world stage, there is a lot to say about leadership, the qualities of leadership, character, and what we want to see in a leader, what we want to see in someone who has a position of authority. And so we're called to it's easy to, fight, and it's easy to complain, and it's easy to point the finger, but that also presents the grand opportunity to look inside too, and then see, how do you want to present as a leader? How do you want to present, as a character? How do you want to present in the world? What do you want to contribute, within the world, within a space or a room, within the community? And that holds its power, even though there's, something on the world stage, or someone on the world stage, or all those leaders on the world stage. I had the vision of yesterday. I was talking with another friend, a martial artist, and we were talking about martial arts within the container of the monastery, right? And then the creating the conditions for something to be held in a space. And so I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, just put these leaders in a monastery for a little bit. But I was also thinking about when you think about monastery, what does it convey? Well, it conveys the spirituality, it conveys ritual, it conveys peace, it conveys, but at the same time, within that same space, there's a darkness, there's our primal nature, there's the easy tendency to also fight. So I was thinking about, because I spent time in a space with a lot of martial artists. There's a lot of tension, as you said. There's ego. There's always sizing you up. It's like we have to take on that. We have to take on the container of the monastery to live together and not kill each other. And so this whole idea and framework came into mind about the monastery. Oh, the monastery is like balancing our inner primal drive to kill each other.
Right, absolutely. There's a level of stripping of that is so articulate, that begins to find itself in every morning ritual and every practice that you're doing. It strips you, the level of confidence you begin to create within yourself in your practice starts to strip away at the feeling of having to eat the world and win over the world and take over the world, and that shadow warrior that is continuously being built into the inner consciousness that we're having to fight and move against begins to become less shadow and begins to find its way in making you feel so much more comfortable. Your stance deepens, your focus deepens, and your breath expands. And all of these are the positive aspects of being disciplined that lifts you up and raises your vibration. And when your vibration is raised, you no longer become part of the mire that is building that. They say the lotus rises from the mud, basically. So, you might still have your feet where you are and it's muddy, but your being is continuously lifting, and simultaneously you're lifting everyone else with you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love that. We love that about practices that bring us higher, that raises us in a way that we look at ourselves and go, wow, look where I was a few years ago. Look where I'm at right now. And, that's worthy of being investigated and put into practice continuously on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's precisely, a big part. And it's maybe the whole thing of what we're offering at Innerbloom is realizing that, the lotus flower does emerge and rise up from the mud, and it needs to go into the darkness to find its nutrients and send its feeler roots down into the soil, into the wet earth, and source what it needs to nourish the flower so the flower can take sunlight and transform that sunlight into food for itself. So I think collectively we've all been trudging through the mud a little bit, and as we work our way through the mud, shows like this, conversations like this, and choosing things that are good for us are the way to help our inner bloom, our inner lotus flower to blossom.
Let's take a caller.
Hi, this is Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
I wanted to just comment on kind of the whole topic of conversation, but, ultimately the spiritual war that we're all fighting collectively together it's very important. I think the biggest thing that we can all do is do the inner work. And, that can come in so many different ways. Inner work can be journaling. It can be doing yoga practice. It could be cooking food that you like, or whatever it is that makes you feel whole and gratitude. So I just also wanted to shout out Innerbloom Wellness for holding that space. I know part of my spiritual journey, a lot of it is doing yoga and meditation, and I'm just so grateful to have Innerbloom as a space to hold that positive energy and have a place to come and do that kind of practice. Really great.
Great. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thanks,
Totally.
Kate. Okay,
Have a good day, you guys.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Stay blessed. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. Out of the Lotus Sutra, I am coming forth with the Ringe Lotus Sutra chanting of the Nichiren Shoshu practice. Here by the Oshun, where I will ring my bell right now.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, absolutely appropriate to the moment. Thank you so much.
Guys, we got 3 minutes here. Let's close it off. Final words for you.
Yeah, Daddy, you go.
Thank you. Thank you,
floor
Tony.
is yours,
thank you,
brother.
Javier. Yeah, thank you so much to the community, and thank you to that caller
Oh.
ringing the bell, ringing the temple bell here. The space, Innerbloom Wellness, it's really a place of acceptance, a place of wellness, a place and a space of non-judgmental energy. We welcome everyone to come in, anyone who's feeling ready and feeling willing to take a step forward for themselves and invite more wellness, more vitality into their lives. We are calling you in, and we welcome you to come join us. Our classes, we made them affordable. Your first class, everyone, your first class is $10. Our drop-in rates for single class is $15, and then we have a punch pass, 5 punch pass, which is $55, making classes $11. So we really wanted to make this affordable off the jump for everyone. We have 4 or 5 actually teachers throughout the week, different class offerings. So you can find us on Facebook, Innerbloom Wellness. We're on the What's Up Garberville page. You can find us on Instagram, Innerbloom Wellness with an _ and come on down 906 Redwood Drive. We'd love to see you. We have some open studio hours on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, and Tuesday and Thursday we have a free open meditation for the community where we just want to invite people out, whether you want to sit on a bolster, on a mat, or you just want to sit in a chair. We would love to see the community come through and just have an opportunity to sit down and breathe some fresh air, and we always have really beautiful music going on in the background. So it's a place and space of calm, of irie, of zen, of meditation and upfulness. So
Yeah, and I want to invite people to try some things that they haven't tried before. Don't always go for the same old modality. If you've been doing a lot of yoga, go sit in meditation or do qigong, and it's nice that you provide so many, a variety of practices so that people can experience, because it's always refreshing and you kind of kick off the beginner's mind when you try something you haven't tried before, and that re-energizes you in a different way than the old traditional path you've been on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And also feels, I want to touch on the youth as well. We're working on building a bridge to the youth and maybe to the high school and just want to, all the parents in this community. There's so many parents who would benefit greatly from coming into Innerbloom, and also hope to be able to inspire the youth, all of us as aunts and uncles or fathers and mothers being able to inspire our children just by the way we walk and the way that we show up and the way we hold space for our families is a great way to build, and also wanting the youth to have a place they can feel safe at times. So anyone who feels inspired to create that bridge, we'd love to talk to you for hosting a yoga or wellness meditation class for the youth.
Well, the possibilities are endless. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Folks, thanks for having us today. This has been Talking Chi with Javi, Tony, Deddy. Go to your socials, your favorite social app. You can find Innerbloom Wellness there. You can find K-Mud Community Radio there. Become a part of the family. Become a part of the Innerbloom. And thanks for joining us today. I hope your chi continues to flow smoothly. Embrace the woo. And next we have Moon River Meandering with Shanine. Folks, have a good day. Stay dry. Thanks again, gentlemen.
Big up, Southern Humboldt. Thank you so much.